Unpopular opinion. Money is not a real thing. We get tied up these days because it's the currency that turn on the current. Minds caught up in a materialistic current. The worshipping of paper has become a common occurrence. It starts in the mind of a child who can't afford that extra current roll. But what happens when he scours the entire playground for all the pennies? Pens his friends' homework and tutors another until she is ready. What happens when he returns to the shop with enough money to buy all the treats on the countertop and is told they've all been sold? What happens then? What will he eat? How do you reconcile someone when they gather all the money you ask them to and it still doesn't solve their problems? What kind of conversation takes place when you replace the time with pieces of paper with faces drawn on them? The bill has a will of its own. Represents the idea that we can make value tangible. And since we spend time to get value, therefore we can make time tangible. And since our happiness stems from how we spend our time, therefore we can make happiness tangible. Importance, status, all now tangible because human beings aren't convinced that they have something unless they physically have it in their clutches. The result, a global society standing on the crutches of an idea. The idea that we can clock in and exchange time for revenue on our books. Books cooked by crooks that feed us crooked lies, make us write on dotted lines, make us believe in make believe that we need them to eat and they're not just middlemen. If money is so valuable, then how come it's the only part of the exchange that can be used for anything but exchange? How long will this system remain before exchange is turned to scrap metal and fuel for the fireplace? Before bank accounts tell stories of hoarded favors that can never be made good upon? Before we forced to understand that the any doctor's time is more consequential than the most famous entertainers? Before those people who are so patient and courageous to invest in businesses involving agriculture, in food, in land, in shelter, before we truly see the significance of what they've done, before humanity can tell its young of how stupid it was to back up its treasuries with metals that have only one purpose: to shine. How long before we realize that value will never truly be tangible? How long before we stop trying to be happy by getting our hands on things? How long before we realize that cash is just an idea? How long before a new cache of ideas registers?